Hello everyone, I am Prashant S. Malge, Assistant Professor, Department of Electronics Engineering, Walchand Institute of Technology, Solapur. Today we will see the delay types in VHDL. So that is inertial delays and transport delays. At the end of the session, students will be able to differentiate the inertial and transport delays. Let us consider the statement C assign the value of A and B after 5 nanosecond to model an AND gate with a propagation delay of 5 nanosecond. So this is a simple signal assignment statement. What will happen if we simulate above code with inputs which change very often in comparison to the gate delay? So it means if the delay specified here is 5 nanosecond. The question is what will happen if A and B are changing very often, means maybe with 1 nanosecond or 2 nanosecond, etc. Actually in this case these small changes will not be propagated to the output, and this is because the way in which VHDL delays work. Now we will see these in detail. There are two classes of delays in VHDL known as an inertial delay and transport delay. So first we will see inertial delay. So this is the default delay in VHDL. So it means when no delay is specified there, the delay model used in that particular statement is an inertial delay. Mainly it is suitable for modeling delays which appear in the devices with inertia, say for example logic gates. So in this case the pulses shorter than a device delays are not propagated to the output. Say for example, if a gate has an ideal inertial delay of t, then in addition to delaying the input signal by time t, any pulse with a width less than t is rejected. Let us see the general form of modeling this. Now this is a signal assignment statement, and what is the assignment is reject pulse width inertial value expression after delay time. So these reject, inertial and after are keywords. Here the reject pulse width is given, the value expression evaluated and will be assigned to signal, and the delay time is the time after which it is to be assigned. Whenever this statement is executed, it evaluates its value expression and rejects any pulses which are shorter than the pulse width specified here, and others will be assigned to signal after the time which is specified in the delay time. So this rejection pulse width must always be less than the delay time specified in the statement. Let us think on what is the default delay time in the after clause. Pause the video for a minute and think on this. The default delay in the after clause is a delta delay. It means if the no delay is specified in the after clause, then the delay used is a delta delay. And of course, whenever the delay specified is a delta delay, then you cannot have the rejection pulse width, because the condition is that the reject pulse width, that pulse width must be smaller than the delay time. Okay. Now let us consider an example of this inertial delay. Let us see there are two statements. One, assign this value of x to z1 after 10 nanosecond. In this particular statement, there is no rejection pulse width given as well as no delay specified, whether it is inertial or transport. But as we see, inertial is the default delay. So in this case, the delay used here will be an inertial delay. And in second, Z2 reject pulse width specified with an inertial delay x after 10 nanosecond. Now let us consider what will be the output assigned to Z1 and Z2. Let us assume this value of x or the signal x is as shown here. X is specified 0 to 50 nanosecond. Now here this value is to be assigned to Z1 after 10 nanosecond. As here the delay model is an inertial delay, any pulse which appears for a shorter than 10 nanosecond will be rejected or will not appear at the output. So it means these pulses are not going to appear at the output. Therefore, the result will be like this. At 10 nanosecond, the x changes to 1 and this change is for 10 nanosecond. Therefore, this is going to appear delayed by 10 nanosecond. So it means it will go high at 20 nanosecond. Once again here, as it goes 0 and maintains for 10 nanosecond, so this is going to appear after further 10 nanosecond, means at 30 nanosecond this will go. Here the x changes to 1 but not for more than 3 nanosecond, and as it is less than that 10 nanosecond, this change is not going to appear at the output. Same way this is also not going to appear at the output, and therefore the output will remain 0. So this is how you get the output. Now if you consider the second statement, assign Z2 reject 4 nanosecond x after 10 nanosecond. In this case, this x will be assigned to Z2 after 10 nanosecond, but during this any pulse of shorter duration, shorter than this reject pulse width, will be rejected. So it means this 3 nanosecond is not going to appear at the output, and therefore the output will look like this. So this will appear also as this pulse of 5 nanosecond, as the change is more than the reject pulse width. This is also going to appear, but it will appear after 10 nanosecond. So this will go high at 45 nanosecond. So this is about inertial delay. Now let us consider the next delay is a transport delay. So this transport delay models are delays through elements with no inertia. Say for example, simple wire delays. As good as you can say it's a simple propagation delay. No inertia, so all input events are propagated to the output. Any pulse, no matter of any duration, no matter how short it is propagated to the output. But in order to model this particular delay, the keyword transport must be specified in the code, because as if you are not specifying, it will use a default delay, that is inertial. So therefore, to model this, you have to specify the keyword transport. See an example. Once again, we'll take the same input signal x and we'll see what happens in this case. Z3 assign transport x after 10 nanosecond. So this is the input x. As we said, whatever may be the duration of the pulse, it will be propagated to the output after delay time. Therefore, in this case, you can say simply that your Z3 will be equal to x, but delayed by the time specified, and therefore your output will look like this. Z3 same as this, but delayed by 10 nanoseconds. So this 10 nanosecond will appear at 20, 20 will appear at 30, 30 will appear at 40, and so on. So in this case, your value of Z3 will be same as x. So this is what is the transport delay, and this is how it works, right? So now consider using reject is actually equivalent to using a combination of inertial delay and a transport delay. Say for example, now let us consider these two statements. First, assign x to Zm after 4 nanosecond. Here the delay model used is an inertial delay because there is no keyword specified. So default delay is inertial delay. In second statement, there is a transport delay, transport Zm after 6 nanosecond. Means this value will be assigned to Z2 using this. So once again, we have taken the same input signal X. Now what will happen in with the first statement? This X will be assigned to Zm, but any pulse shorter than 4 nanosecond will be rejected at the output, right? So this pulse is not going to appear, and therefore the output will look like this. But the delay is now not 10 nanosecond, that is delay specified is 4 nanoseconds, so this will be delayed by 4 nanosecond. So this will be delayed by 4 nanoseconds, so it means at 39 nanosecond it comes up, and this is how your output Zm will look like, right? So this is Zm. So now with the second statement, transport Zm after 6 nanosecond, so Zm will be assigned to Z2 as it is, but delayed by 6 nanoseconds. So therefore your output will be delayed by 6. So this will be delayed by 6, this pulse will be delayed by 6, so 39 plus 6 will be 45, and so now this output, if you look at, will be same as what we had in case of inertial delay. So that using a reject is actually equivalent to using a combination of the two. Means reject pulse width was 4 nanoseconds, so first inertial delay with 4 nanoseconds, and then the remaining total delay was 10 nanoseconds, so the remaining delay is through transport. So this is how you can model these inertial delays and transport delay in VHDL. So this is a reference. Thank you.